Hello.
What's up?
How we doing tonight?
I'm doing amazing, Jenna Jam. How are you doing?
Oh, I am feeling good. So glad to be here with you.
Me too. It's like I haven't seen you in ages.
No, I haven't seen you in so long. But what we haven't done in so long is a community challenge with Coach Woody.
It's true. I actually don't know when the last one was. I'm trying to think back. I feel like I want to say it was a year ago, but that could have been my last one. The one that I had done prior to that was a year before. So I'm all mixed up. All I know is that I'm excited, Jenna.
I know we are all excited. It's been a hot minute, and either way, it's going to be a good one. But before we dive into all the goodness tonight, I want to say hi to everybody who's rolling in. I see Susan in the house and Katie in the house and Arlene. So good to have everybody. I'm welcoming you all. Eve, Julia. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out
Friends.
with us tonight. And Woody, before we get into the good stuff,
Hmm.
as we allow all of our friends to join us tonight, I got a couple questions, icebreakers, if you will.
I love an
Um,
icebreaker.
she has not been prompted with these questions. She has no idea what I'm about to throw at her, but
Oh
I will say
gosh.
I'm taking it easy on you. Sometimes I like to grill the coaches a little bit, but
I do know that about you.
but today I'm gonna be maybe a little bit sentimental almost as the tonal training lab is slowly coming to an end here. We only have a little bit of time left, so tell me, what has it been like being in person and coaching at the Tonal Training Lab over the last month and a half?
Honestly, it's been a dream and it has flown by. I'm so sad that it's coming to a close. I can't believe it already. It feels like we were planning for this for so long and now it's gone in a flash. It's like Christmas, like there's all this build up to like the season and then it's gone. And then all the decorations come down and you say goodbye until next year. But will there be a next year for the TTL? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it's truly been a dream. The best thing about this has been getting to meet so many amazing members of our community. I mean, some of you have been flying in from all over the country, and it really just shows like what tonal means to you and what this community means to you. And it's been really special to get to finally meet you in person and get to share this experience live in person. I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like making that connection face to face and then also working out together with you in the room and being able to feed off of one another's energy. It's so funny because typically the coaches are just in a silent studio. You can hear a pin drop. And so it's in a very different environment, a very different experience. And I know that we have all absolutely enjoyed every second of it. We hope that you have too.
Oh, yeah. I would say like you and I both come from a group fitness, a boutique fitness background. And so,
Yeah.
like kind of moved on from that, but being back in the tonal training lab, like some of you guys, you put that mic on and we turned that music on and it was like a different person came out of your body. And it was so amazing again for me as somebody who's a little bit more behind the scenes to be in that space and to witness, you know, the members come in and meet you guys and have people with tears in their eyes and excitement in their veins. Like it was incredible. Like you said, people were coming in from Alaska and Hawaii and Michigan and Chicago and San Diego and Atlanta, and it was insane to see, you know, so many people come together and not only be excited to meet you, but then like meet each other and forge these bonds with each other that they take. And even though we work out at home alone, like we're not, right? We're not alone.
Yeah,
And this just
100%.
expanded everybody's community. So it was awesome to witness. I'm also sad that it's that this iteration of it is coming to a close. But yeah, who knows? Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
And guys, I don't get to see Jenna every day. And I didn't get to see Jenna every day until TTL. So it's been really nice having her in New York City, having her local, being able to be together all the time, feel her amazing bubbly energy. So I'm also sad that Jenna's gonna be heading back home for the for the foreseeable future.
I know you
And
can't get rid of me. I'm not that far away. So you'll
Jenna, do you think that you think we'll do this again?
Ooh, I'm gonna leave it with a cliffhanger there. To be
Yeah.
determined. To be determined. But I will say we are doing a lot of learnings and takeaways right now, and we're looking at how it did, and we're looking at all of the feedback from all of the surveys and all of the research that we did during this time, and you know, people really loved it. So
Yeah, it's given us a lot of insight. And I feel like even if it doesn't look the exact same in the future, if we were to recreate this, I think that the next opportunity will only be better. And
that's
so that's something to look forward to.
and I'll give you your flowers, Coach Woody. So you were more than just a coach that showed up and taught classes. You were instrumental in helping us build out this whole experience from,
Oh.
its conception all the way till now. So again, thank you so much. It was so fun to work with you on it and see you, you know, bring this experience to our members and
Right back
our
at you.
teams. It was
Right
awesome.
back at you. You're the best.
Oh, well, so much fun things to talk about today. And yes, we're getting sentimental about the TTL. If you have not made it to the TTL and you're even considering it, we're only there until February 28th. So if you haven't made plans and you're thinking about it, don't wait because there's not much time left. So get
Get in
yourself
there.
there, join a class, and come hang out with us before it comes to an end. Woody will be there all next week to close things out. So
Let's do it.
all right. Well, speaking of things closing out, we're gonna start, like good news, bad news. Let's start with bad.
A banger. Just throw it out there.
So we are here to talk about Reps, the Remix, the program, which is awesome. So for those of you who maybe are new to Tonal or just got your Tonal and you're like, what's this all about? Reps is our live format. It happens 3 days a week on our live stage with our coaches. It's an acronym. It stands for resistance, endurance, power, and stamina. And each one of those letters is a section of the class that focuses on a different training methodology or protocol and approach to really give you the best of all kinds of training methodologies in one class. Incredible format. We launched it about a year ago on our live stage, and it has done phenomenal. But it is time. It is time for the new to come in. So Reps 45, the live program, the live format will be coming to an end on our live stage at the end of this month. So if you are a Reps 45 fan, make sure you're at live classes Monday, Wednesday, Fridays with our coaches. And get those classes. And of course, they live on demand. They're never going to go away from that. You'll always be able to find them. But the Reps 45 program is coming to an end. And we're going to replace it with something new and exciting and different, something very different than we've ever done before. And we'll tell you all about that in the coming weeks. So you'll hear so much more about our new format. But as a proper send to this amazing format that we have loved and seen over the last year, we said, we're going to send it off the way it deserves.
Yes.
An incredible program brought to you by no one other than the woman herself, Coach Woody. So
Woo! Woo!
that is right. So we have this program dropping on February 28th.
Yep.
It will be the same day that the very last class of What Reps airs. So the perfect way to end the live class and usher in this new program. So the program will be on the trainer starting on February 28th, and we are going to go strong and hard with a community challenge kicking off
Yeah, baby.
March 3rd. So mark your calendars. This challenge will kick off on March 3rd. And again, if you didn't hear us chatting in the beginning, it's been a minute since Coach Woody has led a challenge. So I know you do not want to miss this one. So
Yeah, I don't want them to miss it either. I love a challenge. The best thing about a challenge is that we get to take all of our passion and our drive and our investment in one program, and we get to bundle it in an offshoot of the main OTC. So we really get to engage with each other and just lift each other up and support each other in this one forum. So I'm super excited to take the Reps 45 remix into the March challenge. And I think you guys are going to love it for a lot of reasons.
there's
Oh,
so many things. There's so many reasons to love it. And I say this on every, challenge talk that I do with the coaches is like, even if you aren't doing this program, you're welcome to be in what Leah has coined the Lurkers Club. If you're doing a different program, but you just want to join this challenge for all of the wisdom and accountability and community that comes with participating in a challenge, we're not mad about that either. So, hey,
100%.
we're going to talk about all of the different ways about how you can approach this program and other programs and how to fit it in with what you're doing right now as we dive into the good stuff tonight. But let's kick things off. So, Woody,
Yes.
talk to us. Tell us what's different between Reps 45, what's the same, and what's different between Reps 45, our live class that we've had on the live stage for the last
Mhm.
year, versus Reps 45, the remix, the program.
Yes. So Jenna just talked a little bit about what Reps 45, the live format is. I'll recap that because it's important as we take it into our upcoming program. So we're taking this beloved format of Reps 45, the acronym, resistance, endurance, power, and stamina. And we're taking that and combining it with a classic PPL split. So push, pull, legs, which means that we're going to take the Reps 45 format. We're going to take it into a 3 days per week, 4-week program. So you're going to see resistance, endurance, power, and stamina Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we're going to break it into an upper push. Then we're going to follow that up with legs on the second day of the week. And then the final day of the week will always be upper pull. I'll be working out with you in the smart linear format in the same way that we work out with you in the live class format, but we're going to make this split work across 4 weeks. It's not going to be these full body sessions that you're used to, but we wanted to put a spin on this format that you love and redesign or just reimagine what Reps 45 could be in a different split, in a different format, to also draw in some new friends who have maybe not been attracted to this Reps 45 HIIT format live on Tonal. We also wanted to make this, we also wanted to differentiate this Reps 45 Remix program from what I just released, which was Road to Recomposition, which so many of you engaged in and loved and finished and completed and have even gone back and done a second time already, which is so amazing. And I'm so appreciative for how hard you dove into that program. But we really wanted to make sure that this felt different from that, like a new phase of your training. So yeah, these won't be full body workouts like you're used to in the live format. They will be broken into that PPL split, but that's kind of the allure of it. It's something new, it's a new challenge, it's a new stimulus, but still with that reps acronym.
I love that. And let's talk about that. So full body versus a PPL split. So full body is great, especially when we're kind of Reps 45, the live class was designed to be able to jump in, jump out. You don't have to do every single day of the week. You can miss a week and come back. That's the allure of our live classes, is that they're really designed for you whenever you kind of have a break in maybe another program that you're doing, or you need a one-off workout. But when we're designing a program designed to be done 3 days a week, for 4 weeks, for the long haul, we want to be able to manage our volume per muscle group and our fatigue over the entire week in a way that really allows people to be successful and see results. And so by going into this PPL split, we are able to hit certain muscle groups with more volume over the course of the week while allowing them to recover between the individual days, versus if we did those full body sessions every day for 4 weeks, we probably would have a lot of carryover fatigue from one workout to the next, and it might impact their ability to really put 100% effort into each and every workout. So I love the spin on the split that we did for this program, because I think people are going to be able to really see themselves progress and get those results in that 4 weeks by doing all of the workouts all throughout the 4 weeks. So it's awesome. I think it's a great spin on the program, like you said.
100%. I totally agree with you. And also, like, I mean, road to recomposition, we could consider that an accumulation program. We can consider that a recomposition program, a body recomposition program, right? So our main goal there was to drive hypertrophy. So we were accumulating a lot of volume over 4 weeks. This program, it is the same like HIIT focus format from the reps classes, right? We're not necessarily driving accumulation or seeking to build volume over time. While volume will increase over the 4 weeks, and you will definitely be challenged by some advanced training techniques, which we can talk more about, the program will progress, but this will be a nice, say like, this will be a nice phase if you just came out of an accumulation phase, like road to recomposition, rather than stepping into another accumulation phase straight away. This would be a nice switch up, a nice way to change up your phases, change up your training, and then come back to an accumulation phase, probably in April, right?
I love that. And again, we're always trying to help people decide what to do next and how does it work with the other programs I'm doing. So I love that you touched on that. The Reps 45 really drives endurance. That we have one section of endurance, but overall, this is an endurance focused program. So you can expect to build endurance, you can expect to build work capacity. And why somebody might say, like, oh, that's not really on my radar as one of my goals right now. Let me tell you why it should be on your radar is that when we go into these endurance or work capacity type of programs, we're actually really improving our ability to recover because you're taking your body into these longer duration, high volume kind of sets. And what that forces our body to do is have to recover a little quicker. And so when you go through a program that really does focus on work capacity and endurance, you're going to find that your body has to adapt to recover through those uncomfortable long periods and hit it again. So it's really great when you're doing a program like this because you'll find that when you go into whatever program you do next, say an accumulation program, you're going to be able to recover between those workouts and between those sets faster. And so if it's especially a little bit of a higher paced program, this program is really great to prep you for that. So I love that you touched on that. And definitely one of the
Yes.
training metrics that you will see high on this program is endurance for sure. So
I love that you said that, Jenna. I want to highlight and bold and put that on a poster. Put that as like the what do you call it? Like this is what I want you to see when you're thinking about like, is this program right for you? This program is going to drive results, and endurance is one of them. Improving your work capacity is going to be a massive result, a massive benefit of this program. But just there are other training metrics that this program is also going to meet really high on that scale. So definitely consider it. It's going to drive the results. It's going to give you what you're looking for.
for sure. And it's great to be able to have programs. And we were saying like, what a bad problem to have. There's so many great
Hmm.
programs right now. And I know people are probably sitting there going like, what's the best one for me? And it's really, again, what is right for you right now. And maybe
Yep.
you're struggling to recover between workouts or you're struggling to recover between sets and you're like, man, I can't keep up with the pace of the coach or the pace of this workout or the volume. So maybe it is time to say, I'm going to step back and focus on something that maybe I don't focus on all the time and
Yes.
and see how that impacts my performance in other types of training methods. So
Totally. Also, if you're plateauing, if you're
for sure,
finding yourself in a plateau, it could be because you just keep hitting the same stimulus, you keep returning to that same type of program, you keep working within that same rep range, and we need to seek improvements elsewhere, and work capacity could be one of them. So,
I love that. Well, you talked about progress a little bit over the 4 weeks. Let's dive into that a little bit more. So tell me how the program does progress and what changes week to week. Everybody get your pencils and pens out. You might want to take notes here.
so I really had a field day, okay, with this program. I proposed to Jenna initially. What I initially proposed was like taking all of the colors in the paint box and just like splattering it on the canvas. And Jenna was like, wow, I think I'm going to screenshot this and save it for later, but maybe reimagine what you've done here. But basically, you know that I get super excited about variety, and reps has been an opportunity for us to be able to experiment with variety. There are 4 different blocks focused on 4 different things, right? So we can really use different training protocols every week within the live format. And it was important for me to take that still into the program and be able to give you the variety of training protocols, but also not like overwhelm you with every color on the canvas. So what I did was we have a series of training protocols that remain consistent. However, they switch up based on the acronym. Okay. So the acronym is going to be remixed. So we're going to approach it in week one. Week one is like, okay, cool. This is the reps format that I know and love. We begin with resistance. It starts off kind of slow. We're just getting our feet wet. We take it into endurance. So we sort of ramp it up a little bit, get the heart rate up. We're working for longer periods of time. Then we dial back a little bit. Okay, slow down. The heart rate went up. Now we're working in power. And then we ramp it up again in that final block, which is always stamina. Well, in the second and fourth weeks, we're spinning the acronym on its head and we're going to begin with power. Okay, so we're coming in hot. We're expending a lot of energy immediately in that first block. And then we're going to take it into resistance. So then we're going to dial back. Then here we are bringing it right back up to endurance. And then the final two blocks are kind of like a big build because the last block will be stamina always. So we're spinning the acronym on its head to give you like just a new, something different, a different way to approach this acronym, still with the same outcomes. See how maybe you feel different working through those, like switching up your energy levels from one block to the next. But yeah, a lot of different training protocols and techniques. Like think about French contrast supersets. We've got some mechanical drop sets. We've also incorporated the new drop sets feature on Tonal, which is super exciting. We've got some ladder rep schemes and honestly, so much more. So I'm really excited to coach you through those training protocols. Again, another opportunity. Like if there's one training protocol you know and love, I'm excited for you to see it in this program. If there's one that you've never used before and you're like, hey, I could kind of use a little exposure to that, maybe see if I like it, and then return to it in the future in your next and upcoming program. Awesome. I'm going to be super excited to pave the way for you and show you what that's all about and what it can do for you. Um, and then additionally, like I mentioned before, we will progress volume from week to week, so it'll become a little bit more challenging. Again, we're seeking to improve that work capacity and essentially how much you can handle. And yeah, I'm super excited about this one, guys.
It really is a masterpiece of programming. And again, so just to kind of reiterate, so we started off with reps, classic
Mhm.
format. In the second week, the workouts all stay the same. So we didn't actually change any exercises or volume, but what changed is the acronym. So we take those things out of order. This is the workout you already saw in week one. But what happens when we take that power block that you did from week one, that you did about 3/4 of the way through your workout, you're under fatigue now, your muscles are not fresh, and now we put that block at the top of the workout. So now you're able to do those exercises at full capacity, fully recovered, fresh energy. And so by switching up the order of the workout, we're really able to give each of these sections an ability to really be kind of the star of the show of each workout, right? Always prioritizing whatever is at the top, you're always going to be able to perform with 100% effort. And as the classes go on, obviously you're performing under a little bit of fatigue, which is great and serves a purpose. So by switching up just the order, we're able to really focus on what can we do a little bit harder and better because we're doing it first, but also now what do we have to do under fatigue that is really going to force us to adapt. So
Mhm.
switching up the order is just a great way of really being able to not overstimulate with too many changes, right? We don't want to change exercises and volume and order, but it's really one underrated way that we can manipulate training and progress ourselves without having to do too much to the workout and to change too many things. So I love
Yes.
that we did that. It is a twist on the live format. We have never taken the acronym out of order again. I'm not going to lie, I was itching to do it all along. So I really couldn't wait for this program because I was like, I am dying to play around with the acronym. And so then week 3, you do go back to the original acronym, and that's where we're going to see some changes in volume, some changes in exercise, some changes in training protocols. And then
Yes.
for week 4, you do the same thing. Keep those
Yes.
workouts, but change up the acronym. So you guys are in for a ride. It's awesome. There's so much variety. Again, there's so many fun training protocols. If you love variety, but you want it systematic, it's varied. It's not random. We love to
Yes.
use that statement here. There is a method behind the way that it is programmed and it is progressed, and the way that we do add variety in is still a very systematic and thoughtful way. So It's not just throwing paint at a canvas.
Yeah.
For sure. There's
Although I
definitely,
may have done that in phase one.
I mean, there might be a little splatter, a little
It
Jackson
was just
Pollock.
my excitement was just
That
coming
is.
through in my artistic, manifestation.
That's right. But you know what? That's you. That's you. And
Yeah.
that's the Woody touch that people are gonna love.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, again, what people can expect from these workouts.
Mhm.
How do they feel during these workouts? Are they going to see any variations in their suggested weights that they should be aware of? Kind of what's the expectation and how they're going to feel each day?
Yeah. I mean, so I kind of touched on this and I'll come back to that. Like the phases within the reps format. I mean, know this, each day will be taxing. It will feel probably different for you compared to like the full body reps experience, but each day will be taxing because now consider taking the same muscle group through 4 blocks. Like, come on, this is crazy. That's crazy town. We're accumulating volume for the same muscle group over a course of 45 minutes in 4 different ways. So they're going to be taxing and high level of strain, high level of volume for that specific muscle group for that one day, but then you're not coming back to it again for a whole week. So considering again, coming back to what I had said before, the traditional reps format. We're going to kind of like take you on this journey through these classes, right? Whether we're approaching it from the traditional REPS acronym or the mixed up acronym, which we call PRES. Um, it's kind of like and I'll coach you through this so that you know where to place your energy, like when to really attack it, when you can kind of like slow down and lean into kind of more controlled movement, when I want you to move faster. I'm very explicit with my cueing and my coaching there throughout those blocks. So just to give you an example, when we start with resistance, again, we're kind of coming in nice and easy. We're like level setting. Where am I at today? How do I feel today? Let me start off moving and through the nice controlled full range of motion, really set a good foundation for this upcoming endurance block where I'm going to see some longer intervals and lighter resistance to accommodate those longer intervals in the endurance block. And that means that we can probably move a little bit faster. We can probably up the ante on time under tension, and we can hold on to some of that muscular tension by manipulating our movement. And then we're going to take it again into this power block in the traditional reps acronym, which maybe now we're coming back down a little bit, becoming a little bit more methodical, thinking about driving through that concentric phase with a little bit more force and intensity and speed. And again, manipulating the pacing in our phases of movement. So we're a little bit more in the head and connected to the body and in the power block. And then the stamina block is again like go for gold, like let's really finish on a high energetic note. So again, you can take some of those notes and think about what that would look and feel like when we flip the acronym on its head and we start with power and then in resistance. And then we kind of ramp up endurance and then finish on the peak with stamina. Again, I'll coach you through these, but in terms of like effort and energy and pacing and all that good stuff. But yes, know that these sessions, even though it's a PPL split, they're still going to feel taxing. It's a fun reminder to tell yourself like, hey, I'm not coming back to this for a whole week. So let me really go all out. Let me really give this 110%. Like I'm looking for some exhaustive effort across the board. So, yeah, I mean, you might also incorporate, you had mentioned reduced weight. We get a little bit methodical with placing like some reduced suggested weight in the power block, and that is completely intentional. So if you see reduced weight even for shorter durations, remember the reps format is a HIIT format, so these are duration-based workouts. Even if you see a lighter resistance than you're used to for some of the shorter durations where you expect something heavier or higher in the weight dial, that's completely intentional and essentially it's intended to allow you to really recruit as much speed and intensity in your effort as possible. And you'll hear me talk about that as well when that comes up.
Yeah, I love that. So yes, it is a HIIT format, which means that we do dial down the weights just a touch, like we always do in our high intensity training modalities. And
Mhm.
that is to allow speed of movement because that is the intention. And yeah, so we further reduced it during very strategic moments when we are looking specifically for speed and power. Because again, if things are too heavy, then we can't move them very fast. And therefore, we're not able to stimulate what we need to in order to make the progress in that speed and power realm of things. So we do need to be able to move at a certain clip under a heavy enough load to get those training stimuluses that we're looking for those
Yeah.
so very methodical with it. It's always intentional. Again, there's always a method behind all of the madness there.
Madness. Madness.
So some people, again, 3 days a week.
Yeah.
There's 4 other days of the week. So what else are your recommendations, or how do you recommend people attack this if they're maybe looking for a little bit more, or maybe they want to do a little bit of something, to dial things down on the opposite days? So what are your recommendations for those off days?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Scott and Megan released the calendar yet, but it's coming. Okay, we've been working on it. And what I have suggested on the off program days is also very methodical. So knowing that you're going to be exhausting specific muscle groups on our actual program days, I have very strategically placed mobility, recovery, and also yoga units on your program off days. We'll always have Sunday as a rest day. If you like to take 2 rest days per week, you can also switch up what I've suggested. You can move things around based on what you like. Okay, these are suggestions. Always remember that these are suggestions. And while they are thought out, thoughtful suggestions, there is freedom to move some things around based on whatever you're into. So 3 days per week, you'll see some, again, mobility, recovery, and yoga suggestions that I would love for you to partake in, especially if recovery and giving the body some TLC is something that you're not super strong at. I get it. We're kind of giving you the tools and giving you the resources to dip a toe and see what it feels like. And see how your body reacts, because I'm telling you, if you don't lean into or aren't someone who has historically leaned into mobility or really taking the time to like set an appointment with yourself to get into some good stretching or yoga, whatever it may be, you stand to learn what a difference it can make. Make that appointment with yourself. Set that appointment in the same way that you would set your program workout appointment. You will also see on this calendar optional, uh, optional, totally at a loss for words, optional steady state, low intensity, steady state cardio. What does that mean, Woody? I want you to think about aiming for that like zone 2 heart rate. So I'm talking low intensity here. There are a number of ways that we can achieve this. You can even achieve it with a fast-paced walk, okay? You can hop on the treadmill, you can walk on an incline, you can jog at a slow pace on the treadmill or outside. You can hop on the Stairmaster, the elliptical, the bike, the rower. Whatever works for you, heck yeah, jump into it. 20, 30 to 45 minutes, okay? 2 days a week. So you can strategically, again, move those days around. I've got them positioned in between our program days. So 5 days a week, the 5 weekdays. But again, if this doesn't float your boat, I totally get it, which is why it says optional in all capital letters on the calendar. But this is just a way for me to kind of say, here's another resource, here's another option. Let's drive your potential to achieve the results that you're looking for, and let's incorporate some heart healthy cardio on those
Heart
off days.
healthy cardio. I love that. I mean, and maybe another option is a little bit of aero for 10 to
Come
20 minutes.
on, Jenna.
Come on.
Come
I believe
on.
Steve Casey has a zone 2 steady state one workout on there. So maybe this is the time you check that out if you've got yourself a tonal 2, or you have a friend that has a tonal 2, or you want to come
Yeah.
hang out at the TTL with us before the end of the month. So
I love that. I love
I
that.
love that. And that's different and new. And again, all of those things are benefits of participating in the challenge. You're getting the challenge calendars. You're getting these personalized recommendations from Woody. Woody has been through the program. She has done every workout. She has known what works on those off days and how to help you best achieve your results. So again, adding in those optional days, all of it is optional, but again, adding in a little bit of low intensity, really great for heart health. And again, to avoid burnout while still achieving your goals, to avoid overuse while still achieving your goals. These are great ways differentiating our training methodologies by doing something that's probably a little bit more high intensity
Mhm.
mixed with something that's more low intensity. It's a great
Yes.
balance. I love it.
100%. And I mentioned like using this not only as a way as a way to like expedite or help us progress and achieve results, but also a way to expedite recovery. A little bit of movement goes a long way. So doing this in addition to your mobility session, hop on the treadmill and go for an incline walk while you're taking a 30-minute meeting. Great. You've done it. You've checked that box. It's also just nice because I know that you guys love to move, and sometimes 3 days per week doesn't feel like enough. So if you want to get in a little bit of activity that's going to accelerate the heart rate, that's, in addition to your mobility, this is a good solution for that. So,
I love that. I love that. And again, this is all because of the challenge. So besides these additional workouts and the challenge calendar and, having Coach Woody give you all of this stuff, what else can they expect from participating in a challenge? Maybe this is their first challenge, maybe it's not, but what else is available if you participate in this challenge that doesn't normally come with just doing a program on your own?
yeah, Jenna, it's a great question. And I want to say that the best part about participating in a challenge is the camaraderie. It's the teammates, it's the friends and the support that you have surrounding you, and the accountability as well. Accountability goes a really long way. Um, So that's number one for me. I want to say that when I host challenges, I like to provide a little extra value in different ways, whether it be ways to get in extra protein, some food suggestions. I'm a huge foodie and I love to recommend or show off or talk about, what I'm kind of diving into these days. And maybe that can help you achieve your protein goals. I love to also, a lot of my friends have shared, a lot of other coaches have shared playlists, or sometimes I've shared custom workout links. Like, here's an additional ab workout if you want to throw this in on your off day. Really, the options are endless, and I am open to suggestions for what y'all would like to see in this particular challenge group. I've got my wheels turning and I've got some ideas, but we still have a couple weeks to get there. So I am definitely still open to suggestions and ready to riff on whatever you guys would like to see based on all of the challenges that you've taken since my last one. So it's going to be a great month, Jenna.
It absolutely is. And we're building off the momentum of again the TTL and having these fun experiences. And you have a basically Woody on speed dial in this
Yeah.
in this challenge. You have that direct line to the coach that literally pulled this all together for you. So, literally use them for whatever you need. If you need additional help on form, technique, if something is feeling a little off, if you're not sure if you're hitting it the way it's supposed to be, it was intended and designed to be done, ask those questions. And Woody, I'm sure you can tag me as well, I will happily answer those questions for you. As all we want you to have all the information you need and have all of the tools to succeed, and that is why we're here. So that is one of the, again, golden moments and opportunities that everybody has by participating in one of these challenges, is really having that direct line to get into your brain and to ask you questions and to get your help, because sometimes we all just need a coach to kind of give us a little extra something.
100%. Even coaches need coaches, so I
Coaches
get
need coaches. Amen.
it.
I love it. So again, you can look forward to additional maybe workouts, playlists, advice,
Mhm.
videos. So all sorts of extra bonuses come with participating in the challenge group. So get yourself in there.
Yes.
All right. So we have some Q&A to wrap things up today. So if you're here with us live and you're watching this in real time and you have a question, make sure you drop it in the chat, and we will hopefully try to snag it from the chat and answer it here as we wrap things up tonight. But again, the first question from Mark: when will the program begin? He's finishing up a program this Friday, so wants to schedule another program between now and the start of R.E.P.S, the remix. So yes, Mark, again, this challenge is starting on the 3rd of March. The program drops on the 28th. So you have, if you finish a program this the end of this week, you'll have a full week to do something else. And there are some 1 week options in there. Maybe you do something that you sneak into a week. You can pack a few extra workouts in there, but you'll have a full week to either deload or switch it up, do something different before this challenge begins. Woody,
Yeah.
any other advice for something that somebody should do maybe the week leading up to this program?
I think you hit the nail on the head. If you have the time, do a quick deload. Christina has that 1 week deload program that everybody loves. Hop into that. Or deload in another way. Deload, take yourself a recovery week, do what you need to do to be ready to hit this hard on Monday. But otherwise, if you're finishing up a program, heck yeah, take it to the finish line. I'm finishing up a program. I'm taking myself through Road to Recomposition right now. So it's been scary stuff. It's
I
been scary
can't
stuff,
tell you
Jenna.
all what I'm doing right now. I'm not allowed to. Everything I do is hidden and top secret.
Secret. It's all secret. I
Always secret.
imagine that they just picture us in a lab, like like evil laughing at what we're gonna put out next.
I know. It is me like over a cauldron stirring things up. Like, what can I concoct next? Um, so hopefully, Mark, that answers your question and gives you some ideas of what you can do between now and then. Arlene wants to know, are the tonal movements rep-based, time-based, or some of each? Woody, you want to tackle that one?
Yes, Arlene, this is going to be a duration-based program. So all of the movements that you see will be duration-based. The only exception is when we get into drop sets on tonal in the last 2 weeks. You'll see a calibration set, and that will look rep-based, or that will be rep-based. And then, of course, your actual drop set will be rep-based. We're not going to put a time limit on how far you can go in your drop set. So everything will be duration based until we hit that drop set, that specific block in the last 2 weeks.
I love that. And again, I love duration based, depending on what level you're at right now. And this is another great point that we love to make all the time, especially with an intermediate program, is maybe you're a beginner and you're interested in dipping your toe into intermediate. These duration based sets are such a great way to approach that next level because you are working at your own pace. If you get 8 reps in 30 seconds, or you get 10 reps, or you get 15 reps in 30 seconds, it's all whatever you can do on that day at that time in that moment. And again, coach is going to coach you to a certain pace and tell you, this is the resistance block, let's take it slow, or this is the endurance block, let's go. But again, it's what can you do? What is your 8 out of 10 in that moment? And that could look different than it was the day before, or the week following. But that's what's so great about these open-ended or duration-based sets, is you really have autonomy there to make it work for you in that moment. So if you are a beginner, you're thinking about it, you're unsure, this is a great way to kind of step into an intermediate program, because you do have the ability to decide your own fate and what happens in that duration.
I love that, Jenna. Decide your own fate.
Decide your own fate.
It's
Listen,
so true, though. I
we do a lot of work, but then
had
it's on them, right? We
It's
give
very duration-based workouts and programs are super accessible to anyone at any level, no matter what they're labeled, because of that, because of exactly what Jenna just said. And also, if you find that a movement is a little bit out of reach, you always have the ability to replace that specific movement. So yeah, definitely don't let the intermediate tag scare you away, because I know that some of you were like talking about Road to Recomp being labeled intermediate and thinking that it wasn't. So
it's inter advanced.
intervanced.
Intervanced. Yeah, there's a little, sometimes a little bit of a crossover with levels. It's not all.
Definitely.
I like to think of beginner, intermediate, advanced as a spectrum, just like temperature is on a spectrum. Like, we know what hot is and we know what cold is and we kind of know what the middle is, but like sometimes you're somewhere in
Somewhere in
between.
the
You're
middle.
not frigid, but you're kind of cold, and sometimes you're not like sweating, but you're still kind of warm. So levels can be like that sometimes. It's not always one of 3 buckets. It's sometimes somewhere in the middle, and Road to Recomp was somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
It was on that.
She was in a lane all her own.
Yeah, she was. So we have another couple. While we have a few more minutes before we wrap up, we have a couple more. Ray in particular, he says, I know I can't join two programs at the same time. Is there something more planned that we can leverage for a routine on our off days rather than just the ones that we put on our calendar for the supplemental units? So Ray, you cannot join two programs. You're correct on that. You can't join two programs at once, but you can schedule these supplemental workouts into your workout schedule on Tonal. So it will show up as your next workout if you do want to go into your calendar and schedule the particular workouts that Woody did recommend for this calendar, so that it does feel more planned out for you versus having to go and find the individual extra supplemental workouts, if that helps you there. Ray also wants to know a little bit about Arrow. So, not in this program, but Woody, you want to tell Ray a little bit about what Arrow is, what it feels like, what our concept was behind it a little bit?
Sure. So the idea behind Arrow was we wanted to give you the opportunity to we wanted to meet you at the intersection of strength training and cardio. And that's exactly what Arrow is. It's essentially resisted cardio. Okay. So when you hop on Arrow and you set Tonal up, you're going to notice that the weight dial shifts to resistance. And you can kind of think about the resistance dial as being similar to like gears on a bike, right? So the more you turn up the resistance on a bike, or the higher you turn up the gears and the more resistance you apply to the pedals, the more bang you get for your buck, or the more output you get. The harder you work, the more output you get. So essentially, it's the same thing as happening on Tonal. The higher the resistance, the harder you work, the more you're getting out of it, right? It is very similar to a the sensation of a ski erg, in that the movement happening at the upper body, you're sort of initiating the movement through the lats and the arms, and the core is transferring a lot of power. And you can also incorporate the legs, and we do that in our movements and our Arrow movements on Tonal. So the idea is to accelerate the heart rate, get the whole body involved, and drive that cardiovascular effect.
I love it. Yeah. So it does feel like, especially our Arrow mini pull, which is just one of the moves that we have on Arrow, does kind of feel like if you have done a ski erg before, the movement pattern feels similar. But Arrow is its own thing. It is not the same resistance as you would experience on a ski erg or a rower. It is its own thing because of the digital resistance and the motors that we have inside of the Tonal. So it makes it its own unique experience. You really, just like the digital resistance in any of our strength workouts, the first time you clicked that button and that digital resistance loaded and you were like, whoa, it's the same thing with Arrow. The first time you step back and you get the motor going and you go into a bout of Arrow, you're like, oh, okay, this is a little different, but it's something special and it's unique. And yeah, the way that Woody, described it with the gears on the bike, again, when we're in a spin class or we're on a bike, we don't always have it at a 10 out of 10. We save that for when we got to get up a steep hill and we're really having to put in some effort. And sometimes it's in the middle because we're on a flat road. And sometimes we've got to, turn it down a notch because we're not going anywhere and we've got to try to spin ourselves into getting to where we need to go. So there is method behind how we determine what resistance and it is applied for you in the programming. So hopefully that helps describe Arrow. Absolutely stop into the TTL or any showroom and test it out on the Tonal 2, or get yourself on that upgrade list, and you'll experience it when you get your hands on a Tonal 2 as well. So hopefully that helps. We have one more follow-up from Arlene. She says she really wants to know if the timer starts by itself or only when you turn on the weight. So you wanted to talk about how duration-based sets work with turning the weight on and off, Woody?
Sure. So in a smart linear class, when the coach is doing the workout with you, you can turn the weight on, but and you can start moving. Sure. But the timer will not start until the coach counts you in. So the timer is based off of my count, right? And my coaching and my cueing. So the timer won't start running down until you hear me say 3, 2, 1. And you can turn the weight on. It can be set and ready to go for your goblet squat. And you can start moving before the timer begins, but your actual duration that's expected of you or that's programmed won't start until I count you in and then count you out, or you hear those final 3 beeps.
Got it. And again, if you're a little late to the show, that's okay too. If you turn the weight on a little bit later and get going,
Mhm.
that's totally fine. So again, you have autonomy in these smart linear programs to make sure that it is working for you. But Woody will lead you there all the way. So
Yeah, I got your back.
amazing. All right. Well, that is all of the questions that we got. And if you did get a question in the chat that we missed, we'll scroll through and make sure that we get an answer to you. But Woody, thank you so much for spending some time with me talking about Reps 45, the remix,
A
the program
remix.
that is dropping on February 28th and having an amazing kickoff with a March challenge program starting on March 3rd. We cannot wait to see you guys in this program. We cannot wait to see you posting about it and all the fun you're having. Again, Reps 45, the live format, will be coming to an end at the end of this month, but don't you worry. We've got something new and exciting that is coming to the live stage in March. So keep your eyes peeled for more information on that. Woody, any last sentiments you want to send us out with this evening?
I can't wait for this. It's going to be a great month. I know that you guys are going to love this program. I ask that you give it a shot and we jump into this community challenge together and we rock it like we always do. I'm super excited.
Yes, it's going to be an awesome one. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, I'm Jenna, Coach Woody. We've enjoyed spending the evening with you and talking all things programming for this new one. So we can't wait to see how you guys do. Rock it out. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jenna. Bye, everybody.